You've touched upon the contract there. You are here until the summer. Has there been any discussion about potentially staying on longer than the summer?
No, I think I'd like to think that obviously if we do the job here and do what we're given on our remit, fulfil our remit, then maybe there would be discussions about that. But that's not any pressure that I'm trying to put on anybody else. I just think that would probably be a consequence of whether or not we're successful in this short period. So I'm not concentrating on that. It's just about the here and now and getting on with the job in hand.
It's a precarious situation that Southampton currently find themselves in, just 1 point above the bottom three in the Premier League, and still games against the likes of Man City, Arsenal and Chelsea. How do you assess things?
Well, it's difficult. The Premier League is difficult, and it tests you almost every week. Different tests, different opposition, and different quality of players that you have to have the answers for when you go up against them. But I've been encouraged that we've been in working with the group for 2 days now, and I've been really encouraged by what I've seen in terms of their quality and their application. I have to say they've been first class, so that encourages me as a manager and as a coach. So I know we've got the talent here to get the job done, and I think that's really encouraging from my point of view, because sometimes when you walk into a new club, given the circumstances that we find ourselves in, sometimes you're a little bit worried about what you're stepping into. But very, very early on, I understood that we've got a good group that maybe need a little bit more direction or a little bit more detail to their work, and if they get that, then I think they'll be fine.
You talk about the positives and the energy around the place, which for a team that's only won one Premier League game in 17, you think it might be the opposite. So the fact that you've got that sort of positivity, is that a good thing for you? One less thing to worry about in terms of lifting players?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just the impression I've got. Obviously, I work in a certain way, and there's certain levels of training intensity that I'm looking for. I've seen that in the last 2 days. The levels that I demand, I've seen. It's fair to say that feedback from people in around the club is that maybe that intensity hasn't been there before. For me, it's the norm, because that's the way and the level that I work. So maybe that can help the guys, given the games that we've got ahead of us.
You've got a management career that spans nearly 20 years. But when you look at that 20-year spell, rarely have you been in a relegation battle, and you've never been relegated.
That's a good thing.
As a manager. Yeah. What of your personal skills do you feel you can draw on for this particular situation at Southampton?
Well, it's I've been in the Premier League for a long time now. I've garnered quite an amount of Premier League points as well. So clearly, when the circumstances are right, when you've got the tools to do the job, then I can win Premier League games, and I've proved that for a long time. So I feel the quality we have here, we've got a good group, good players technically, and for the most part, with only a few omissions, we've got a healthy squad as well, which will be important for us from now to the end of the season.
One of the problems, it seems from the outside, is the lack of goals for Southampton. They've scored just once in the last 4 Premier League games. How are you going to turn things around in that respect, obviously as a former striker yourself? Well,
yeah, I'd like to think I've got an insight into how you can improve forward play. I think we've got good players here, good quality players that have decent records in terms of their playing career, scoring-wise. We just got to bring out the best elements of their play, the most effective elements of their attacking play, and make sure that the team as a whole benefits from good movement, good creativity in the final third, and the team itself understands when the ball's coming in, when we're attacking in a certain way. We've got to have certain numbers when the ball's coming into good areas, and all those things are fundamentals from my point of view. So maybe that is the focus leading into the first game of the weekend. Certainly we need to create chances. We're in a situation, notwithstanding the FA Cup game, we're in the Premier League, we need to win games. Draws, clearly losses aren't going to be enough.
It's a bizarre situation as well when you look at the weekend, because you're potentially 90 minutes away from leading your side out at Wembley in a semi-final of the FA Cup. How do you balance the focus for this weekend and then the short-term focus of the obviously the Premier League?
We're not going to demean the competition by not focusing in on the FA Cup. It's a competition that's been very good for me during my career. I was very fortunate to win it on quite a few occasions, and I always figured highly throughout my playing career. So I've got a great deal of affection and emotion for the competition. So we would never demean the competition by not focusing as strongly as we need to. We're up against a good team, Wigan, playing well, playing with confidence, and I'm sure they'll fancy their chances. They've been 3 Premier League teams as we speak, so from our point of view, we have to make sure it's not a 4th one.
And finally from me, when you look at this challenge you face here at Southampton, how does it compare to every other challenge you faced in your career?
Every club's different, every situation is different. It's about making sure that at the end of my stay here is that we're as successful as we could have been in that period for however long it is. At the moment we're looking solely to the end of the season and making sure that hopefully we're a Premier League club and we've won the FA Cup.
Mark, is it a clean slate for all the players? There's certain ones who sort of haven't been involved, people like Craig, of course.
I think there's an argument for that. I think players, when they see a change in management, then maybe any disappointment they felt or any grievances that they had maybe with previous incumbents of the job, then maybe that lightens the load, so to speak, in terms of their frustration. So when a new manager comes in, clearly, I'm sure, I've been through the process myself as a player, that players do react in a certain way, and maybe they feel that their options are better once the change has been made. But I can only go on what obviously I've seen from afar. I've obviously been an opposition manager against good Southampton teams in the past, and so I know a great deal about the players that I've come in to work with. But I think the key is that if you perform well, you keep the shirt, but the levels is really high. We're playing in the hardest league in world football, in the Premier League, so the standard needs to be high to be able to keep in the team.
How important are the fans going to be, because they haven't got
No, massively. I mean, we're going to take thousands. I think it's over the 4,000 to Wigan, which is a huge effort, I have to say, and we need to give them something to grab onto and grasp, because it's been a difficult period for everybody connected with Southampton fans, obviously paramount in that, and we want to change. Obviously, whenever we get in this situation as football people, there's always a little bit of negativity that needs to be dissipated, and hopefully we can do that at the weekend, and everybody can get on board and be in a positive frame of mind moving forward, because clearly we need the support of everybody.
And just one last question from me. What was the injury situation, and how far is Charlie Austin? I'm sure you see him as an important player for you.
Yeah, I was speaking with Charlie the last 2 days. He's really encouraged by how it's going. He's not going to be obviously involved this weekend, but obviously the international break is coming up. We feel we've got a chance of integrating him maybe for short periods in the following week, next week, so we could get some good game time on the grass with him, and if we can do that, then obviously we'll try and speed up his progress. So with a little bit of luck, I don't want to put too much pressure on Charlie and his situation, because he's been out a long time, but if we can get him ready for West Ham, then clearly it's a massive positive for us. Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, for the most part.
Tony?
Mark, you talked about maybe needing a bit more direction, lesser intent, or there wasn't enough intensity on the training ground. What overall have you found in these first couple of days working with the players? And that being the case, are you a bit surprised that some of those things were missing?
Well, it's everybody works in a different way. There's no right or wrong way. The only right way is to win football matches. So the way I work is a certain way, and there's a certain level that I like to see on a daily basis, and I've seen that, and I can only judge them on what I've seen in the 2 days I've been with them, and I've been pleased with that. When you walk into a club, you're always a little bit apprehensive in terms of what you're going to find. Are you going to find a group of players that are disenfranchised? Are they fragmented as a group? Are their levels too low that you can't, in the space of time you've got, to bring them up? But I haven't seen that, which is really encouraging. So I've got a good group, a willing group that's ready to work to make sure that we're successful from now to the end of the season.
And I guess the target view is short, sharp, shock treatment, really. So does that mean that you have to develop or change your management style a little bit? Because you've got such a short spell, really, to make...
A little bit. When you've got the luxury of a little bit more time, then obviously you can build relationships, and that takes time, obviously. And sometimes you have to step on people's toes. We're probably in that situation. We've got no time to wait, if I'm honest. We've got 8 weeks. We've got to get on with it. And if we upset people along the way, then people will just have to accept it. It's about the end game from our point of view. It's about making sure we're successful when we look back on this period. And I think there's a willingness, certainly in the 2 days we've been involved here. There's been a real energy to the club, which I've liked, and everybody's pushing in the right direction. But we've got to keep that going by winning football matches, and that's obviously the hard bit.
And finally, for me, given everything, the end game is staying in the Premier League. Can the FA Cup be a positive distraction? Yeah,
I think so. I've always used cup runs as a real positive. I think they can help you form. If you're struggling for a little bit of form and you have a good result in the cup and you progress to the next round, you've got that to look forward to, and I think that confidence can obviously lead into your league form as well. So we don't, and I certainly don't see a game against Wigan in the quarter-final as a hindrance. I see it as a real positive, one that we can use to good effect.
Lovely. We'll end that section there.